Welcome to our next session in SAP training. Today we'll be starting our next topic, reporting and analysis function. So the topics that we're going to cover here are what is standard reports and analysis in purchasing, reporting in inventory management, reporting for invoice verification, SAP list viewer, ALV grid control, logistic information system, standard analysis in logistic information system, which is called LIS, and flexible analysis in LIS. So this is a very small topic. So let us start this topic. So business example. So before we start, let's see where this will be used. Okay. So in your company, suppose you're working in a company and you have been asked by the purchasing manager for the below reports. Okay, so suppose you're working as SAP consultant, okay, and you have been asked by the business that they want to see below reports in SAP. For example, a report for the available stock for different finished product. Okay, so the manager want to see what are the available stock we have in the warehouse for all the finished product. Not only finished product, it can be all the stock they want to see in a report for raw materials, semi-finished good product, can be a trading goods, can be non-inventory products. Can't be non-inventory, but can be non-valuated products. Okay, so another example can be reports for all the PIR for a particular vendor. Okay, so they want to see, okay, give me a report for that particular vendor for all the purchase order that we created or for all the PIR records that we have in the system. Report for all the goods movement for a product. Okay, so if you want to see the history of the goods movement of a product, for example, we have ABC product, okay, and the business that say that they want to see all the inward and outward movements of this product. So when we bought it, how much we sent, for which order, everything they want to see in a report. Okay, and another example can be for how many purchase order goods already been received. For example, if we send a maybe say 20 purchase order to a specific vendor. Okay, so for out of 20, how many orders we have received the goods and how many are pending, which are called open purchase order. Okay, so these are the examples that how do we find the reports, where are the reports in the system. So let us start first with standard reports. So with standard reports, basically what is the report? Report is nothing but it's like report is getting the data from your master data and the transaction data. Okay, for example, let me show you. For example, you have the master data, right? You have the vendor master data, you can have the material master data, you have the PIR records, and on the other hand, you have transactional data. So transaction data like your purchase order, your good received document, your invoices and all that. So basically the system can combine all this data into a list or a standard report. Okay, so that's what a report is. So we'll have a look the different types of reports we have in a minute. And we have a thing called in SAP called logistic information system, okay, also known as LIS. Okay, so LIS is nothing but it's just a combination of different types of reporting system that we have in SAP system. For example, we have sales information system, okay, which is called SIS, where you can have reporting for sales specific activities like sales order, billing, and delivery and all that. Then we have purchasing, where you can have purchasing specific reporting, then inventory, and then warehouse management, shop floor controlling, which is for SAP PP model, production planning, and quality management and plant maintenance info system. Okay, so these are the different reporting system fall under one folder, which is known as logistic information system. So basically here we are basically concerned about purchasing information system, okay, and inventory controlling reporting. Okay, these two. So reporting. Okay, so let me show you some simple reports. So basically, you can not only you can run a report for say master data, you can also run a report for say PIR record. Give me all the list of PIR record. You can run a report for all the quotation or request for quotation in the system. You can run it by material, by vendor, by price comparison. Same way you can see the report for outline agreements, which we'll study later on. Purchasing requisition, okay, by account assignment, by surveys. You can also see a search for a purchase order by vendor, by material, okay, by material group. So there are different types of reports and different ways to search them. Okay, so let's have a look into the real example here. So that's the menu path you can see. Okay, logistic, material management, purchasing, purchase order, list display or reporting. So if I go to this menu path, logistics, material management, then we have purchasing, okay, then we have purchase orders and list display. Okay, so for example, you can see I'm under purchase order, right? I'm opening purchase order. So when you open purchase order, so under the list display, all the reports that you will see here, they belong to purchase order. Okay, so here you can look at, so because I'm under this folder purchase order, okay, so any report that you can see under list display, they basically all belonging to purchase order only. Okay, so it means that it doesn't belong to other things like master data or quotations or PR records and everything. Okay, so we'll look at them as well in a minute. So here you can see you can run a report by vendor, by material, by account assignment, by material group, by PO number. So different ways to run a report. For example, if I run a report by vendor, okay, I want to see the purchase order history by vendor. If I double click on it, here I can enter the vendor number. I can execute it, but it will give me a lot of data for all the vendors that we have set up in the system. So you need to filter it. So all the fields you can see here, they are just selection criteria. That means you can enter here material number, you can enter a material group, you can here enter a document number of the purchase order, or you can enter a vendor number, purchasing organization, like that. Okay, so you can filter it by a lot of different ways. So if I want to search for my vendor, okay, so I'll call the vendor that we were using earlier. So you can search for that vendor by clicking on this little button on the corner. And that's the search screen. And here I will search for, you were using StudyNest vendor. So I'll say StudyNest star. Can't find it. Okay, let's start again. If I say star, StudyNest star, that's a bit odd. Let me check with the different criteria. Say by country. Country is AU and name is StudyNest star. Not finding. Oh yeah, there's a space. So you can see that's why it was not finding. There's a space between StudyNest. Okay, so that was my mistake. Sorry about this. So let me search it again. The best is the general view. So if I type here study star, so there's so many. So StudyNest, that's the one we were using earlier to creating our documents. 100.501. Select that.